people of faith and those of no faith must advocate together for policies that protect the rights of immigrants and ensure fair treatment for those in detention. By doing so, we uphold the values of justice, equality, that define our nation. Let us recognize the contributions and work together to create a more inclusive and equitable society. In the spirit of the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 25, verses 31 to 46, where Jesus speaks of the sheep and the goats, we are reminded that our actions towards the least among us reflect our true character. Let us strive to be the sheep who care for the hungry, the thirsty, the stranger, the naked, the sick, and the imprisoned, including nearly 200 ICE detainees in this facility. Thank you. Woo! For joining in this important gathering. I place this with all of you. Racial profiling and just incarceration.
Farmworkers Association. You took my Mexican blood.
Oh, okay, that's good.
See all the immigrants?
Yeah. You're gonna say some words?
Hello, brothers and sisters. Good afternoon. But before I even begin to speak, let me introduce myself. I am Felipe Sosa Lazaralem, and I am the executive director of the whole community center. I'm an immigrant in this country and have been undocumented in the past. But today, I want to honor the story of a friend, a leader who couldn't be here today because he's afraid. His story is exemplified what the policy actually implicates of us. And every time I close my eyes, I see my dad standing by a pool he cleaned with his own hands. A vision of hope and sacrifice. He came from Brazil with my mom when I was barely a year old, carrying with him a dream to forge a better life for our family. One where opportunity would pave the way to a future full of promise. My dad dedicated himself to his fulfilling of mission. Every summer, I worked alongside him, learning the value of hard work and the pride of building something meaningful from nothing. But his immigration status cast a long shadow over his relentless hope. Unable to renew his license, one day he was pulled over. He was arrested, and in an instant, the life he had so carefully built was dismantled. He was taken to this very jail on 33rd and John Young, where an ICE hold was placed on him. And soon after, he was transferred to Broward Transitional Center. For 10 agonizing months, he existed in a state of suspended hope until he was finally deported, a separation that tore our family apart. The heartbreak of losing him was compounded by the toll of my separation. My mom, once my unwavering pillar, was left to shoulder the world on a single income in a time of rising costs and uncertainty. Being separated took a heavy toll on my dad, and a year after his deportation, he succumbed to a heart attack. I still have not been able to visit his grave, a silent reminder of the irreversible loss we endured. Our family, once vibrant and united, became a shell of its former self, haunted by the trauma of what it means to be torn apart by immigration policies. Today, my ask for Orange County and for society at large is simple yet profound. I implore decision makers and community members alike to see us for who we truly are, human beings with hopes, dreams, and deep familial bonds. My family was never a threat, an enemy, or a detriment to this state or nation. On the contrary, we have always been an asset, contributing to the very fabric of our community. I ask that empathy and understanding guide policies and attitudes, that anti-immigrant rhetoric be challenged, and that compassion prevail over division. In remembering my dad's legacy, let us all strive to ensure that no family has to endure the unbearable pain of separation, and every immigrant is seen through the lens of humanity rather than suspicion. That story is not just personal, it's political. It's the legacy of Orange County's intergovernmental agreement with ICE, a legacy of separation, a legacy of suffering, a legacy of using local jails as ICE hubs. And for what? Shame! 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 And for what? They say it's always been this way. They say we got reimbursed $88 for $145 we spent per person. They say we're just following policy. But I say this, shame on Orange County. Shame! 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 Shame on this county for using hard-earned tax dollars to subsidize federal detention. Shame for enabling a system that weaponizes immigration to undermine due process, fuel racial profiling, and censor political dissent. This is our demand. Orange County must end the IGA with ICE. Our taxpayer dollars should serve our communities, not fund Trump's deportation machine. We're not asking for favors. We are demanding justice. Let us be the generation that breaks this legacy and the IGA. Shut down the ICE hub. Build a future where families stay together. Let's go!
Sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede.
And IGA with ICE!
And IGA with ICE! And IGA with ICE! And IGA with ICE! And IGA with ICE! And IGA with ICE!
So let's talk about the workers, the immigrant workers on this worker day. Immigrant workers are the essential part of our economy. Our families are impacted, like all workers being impacted by the tariffs, by the inflation, and by the job cuts. Working families need support and job creation, not terror and deportation taxes. In 2023, the undocumented immigrant workers, the one they want to deport, we paid $89 billion in taxes, including $34 billion for the local and state economies. Our families and all workers are under attack. Big loss of worker protection means worker protection, loss of worker protections for all. Working families are hurting. We need tax relief, not new deportation tax. It's our money. Give it back. No new deportation tax. It's our money. Give it back. No new deportation tax.
It's our money! Give it back! No deportation tax! It's our money! Give it back! No deportation tax!
I want to introduce to you the immigrant workers that surround us and feed us and take care of us and help the tourist industry. Let me introduce Aaron Quinn from the original leaders of the immigrant civil rights movement, the farm workers, and Si Se Puede people with Dolores Huerta and Cesar Chavez. I want to introduce to you the Florida Unite Here Union, who are the backbone to the tourism industry, and Jimmy Torres from 1199, the healthcare union, who take care of our elderly and our sick. Thank you very much. Si se puede.
Sí se puede.
Si se puede.
Sí se puede.
Sí se puede.
Sí se puede.
Today we gather not just to speak, but to feel, to open our hearts and to honor the incredible courage, resilience, and humanity of the people whose hands quite literally feed this nation. Our immigrant brothers and sisters. We wake long before dawn. We brave scorching heat, bitter cold, and back-breaking labors. We move through fields, row after row, hour after hour, so that families can eat, so that our tables are full and our communities are nourished. We sacrifice our bodies, we give our time, we do the work that's essential, yet too often invisible. But make no mistakes, farm workers, our labor is sacred. And yet despite everything we give, far too many farm workers continue to live in poverty, fear, and silence. We face dangerous working conditions. We lack health care. We are denied protections that many others take for granted. And worst of all, we are treated as our humanity is somehow optional. This isn't just unfair, it's inhumane. We must say together without this hesitation, enough is enough! Enough is enough!
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Farm workers are not asking for special treatment. They are asking for dignity, for fairness, for the right to live without fear and to work without being exploited. Justice for farm workers is not a radical idea. It's a long overdue truth. We already know it's an impact that anti-immigrant laws have on this economy. It's reflected in the shortage of workers, in the loss of billions of dollars in the states like Florida. And it's the human suffering that lies behind every piece of fruit that reaches our table. Women and men who give everything and ask only for peace. We are the backbone of our food system and the quiet years of our economy. And we deserve so much more than silence and suffering. So to every farm worker listening, we see you, we honor you. Your strength humbles us, your courage inspires us, and your fight for justice is our fight too. We must raise our voices louder than ever. We must demand a change. We must build a future where every farm worker earns a fair wage, works in safety, and lives with dignity, not in the shadows, but in the full light of justice. Because anything less than that, anything beneath that is our humanity. Let us not forget, we are only fed because they are willing to sacrifice. So let's make sure that their sacrifice are no longer repaid with silence, but with solidarity, action, and long-lasting change. Let me tell you about a woman. There are thousands of people like her. She's a mother of four, a loving woman, a farm worker who lived in this country since 1998. She worked every day to give her children a better future. She pays her taxes. She contributed to this community. She does everything she's asked for, but still she lives in fear. Every knock on the door makes her freeze. At night, anxiety grips her. Even a walk down the street fills her with dread. I came here for a better life, she said trembling. But I live in fear every day. I feel invisible, like I don't exist. Her pain is heavy, but even heavier is the fact that she's not alone. Because she has a community who's willing to fight for her.
Sí se puede. Sí se puede.
Money for housing and education, not for jail and deportation.
Money for housing and education, not for jail and deportation. Money for housing and education, not for jail and deportation.
Mi nombre es Susana, soy beneficiaria del TPS, migrante como cualquiera de ustedes aquí. Estoy en la lucha con ustedes. Pertenezco a la United 7300, de la Unión Local 7300. De esa comunidad me siento muy orgullosa. Soy vecina, amiga y compañera de trabajo de cualquier persona. Porque todos somos migrantes y nos congregamos en cualquier parte de este país. Mi vida en mi país se me deshizo. Vine a este país a construir una nueva, mejor, ¿verdad? Y todos estamos claros que para construir esa mejor vida tenemos que trabajar duro. Y los latinos y los migrantes somos buenos para trabajar. Todos tenemos miedo al trabajo, ¿verdad? Muchos migrantes en este momento tienen temor. Vivimos con temor, no queremos salir, no queremos trabajar con el temor de que seamos deportados. Las deportaciones están separando a muchas familias de una forma masiva, ¿verdad? Mientras que nosotros, yo soy parte de un hotel, trabajo en un hotel, que forma parte de la economía turística y de la Florida central, ¿verdad? Donde hacemos la parte dura del trabajo. Sin esa parte dura del trabajo, los hoteles no pueden estar libres, no podemos atender a los visitantes y los parques no pueden abrir. Los parques es una parte muy importante en este país, para la economía de este país, ¿verdad? Hace poco fuimos varios a Washington, D.C. y pudimos hablar con unos líderes del gobierno. Cada quien manifestó, ¿verdad?, su situación de vida, su experiencia, desde que llegó hasta este momento. Y ellos nos entendieron, dijeron que tendríamos que seguir en la lucha y haciendo estas mismas manifestaciones, ¿verdad? Tenemos que seguir unidos, porque en la unión está la fuerza. ¿Qué le decimos nosotros a esta gente? Que cojan primero la humanidad, ¿verdad?, antes que el odio. Y les podemos decir también que cuando ellos nos ayuden con el TPS, la residencia y la ciudadanía, si la podemos conseguir, no se van a arrepentir. Porque aquí tú sabes que hay mucho profesional, gente buena que vino a sumar, no a restar. Somos más los buenos que los malos. Si estamos unidos, siempre vamos a ganar.
Jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
Buenas tardes a todos y todas. Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Jimmy Torres. I am a retired member of 1199, the Healthcare Workers Union. Woo! On behalf of the 40,000 members of our union in Florida, 400,000 members in the United States, we are with you. We have been always with you, and we are always going to be with you, because the work in the healthcare industry is done by immigrants.
Yeah!
And now I'm going to change this to Spanish, but before that, I want to share with you the experience of coming here and finding a stupid rule that said that we cannot use a speaker to talk to you. That's disrespectful to you, that's disrespectful to democracy, and this is just an example on how rules are used against the majority. Okay? Rules are used to quiet ourselves. You cannot take the street. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. Why? They create the rules so they can stay in power forever. So when we fight, we also need to fight and elect the right people.
Right.
I'm gonna go to Tallahassee. I'm gonna go to Washington. I'm gonna change the rules because the rules are made for the people that are in power and they want to stay in power forever.
Right.
So it's a rule. It's an opportunity to change, to do that. Y yo le quiero hablar primero a la gente puertorriqueña que me están escuchando y que me están viendo en sus casas. Los puertorriqueños parecemos indocumentados. We look very undocumented.
Absolutely.
Okay? We look like every other Latino that don't have paper.
Okay.
So when they profile Latinos as
It's a
drug
soundbite
dealers,
that people out there
as
need to hear.
rapists, they're profiling us. Don't be stupid. When they're talking like that, they're talking about you. They're talking about your family. They're talking about your coworkers. You're talking about the place that you buy the bacalaitos. So move, get off the couch, do something, and help the immigrant community. Thank you so much.
¡Arriba la Unión! ¡Abajo deportación!
Arriba la Unión, abajo deportación. Arriba la Unión, abajo deportación.
We're here today not just for immigrant workers who are grown-ups, but we're also here for the future workers who are students. So I'm going to take a moment to pass it on to Scenaria, who's a UCF international student, to tell us about her experience and how we need to fight to make sure that that contract with ICE is taken back. No more ICE! No more ICE!
No more ice, no more ice, no more ice.
No more ICE! No more
Okay, good. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Sunera, and I am an international student at University of
Here, there's more
Florida. I came to UCF to study.
I'm a nurse, so if anything
and
happens to
support
you,
my
you
family. Like so many others. Came to this country because I stood for ideals of freedom, justice, and opportunity. But today, I speak with a heavy heart. A deeply harmful policy is threatening the very foundation of those ideals. The 287G agreement, which allows locals, jails to work with immigration and customs enforcement, isn't just a legal contract. It is a tool of political censorship and fear. And now UC has signed onto this agreement. An officer operating under 287G brings ICE closer, not just to our communities, but to our campuses. This agreement makes it possible for students like me and many of my peers to be detained and jailed in the Orange County jail. Not for any crime, not because we pose any danger, but for exercising our right to speak, to organize, to exist. We came here to learn, not to silence. We came here to build a future, not to be funded into jail. For political reasons, what the administration is doing is not about safety, it is about control. And we must call it what it is, an attack on freedom of speech and academic liberty. Instead of investing in ICE collaborations and county-funded detention, we should be investing in civil rights protection. We should be building support system, not jail cells. So I ask, is this the legacy we want to leave behind?
No.
A university where diversity is welcomed in brochures but punished in practice? No. I have heard many news stories where international students are being deported just for committing minor traffic violations. How is that fair? I just can't understand it. If someone breaks a traffic rule, punish them under traffic laws, not with deportation. It seems like this is not really about the traffic violation, but rather about stripping people of their political freedoms. This isn't America. We thought we knew what happened to the America that once welcomed foreigners, but now makes their lives so difficult. We invest in this country, but it feels like the country doesn't invest us. Also, let's move to the immigrants. Immigrant workers labor through extreme weather conditions. For your benefit, you sit in air-conditioned offices, making laws and handing down judgments. Try stepping outside in the scorching sun, or heavy rain and building a road yourself. Spend maybe you will understand true value of immigrant workers. Let me leave you with these words from revolutionary hero Habib Talib. He said once, Allah whose light shines only in places. Allah whose light shines only in places that carries the joys of just a chosen few. That thrives in the shadows of compromises, such as constitution, such a joyless dawn. I don't accept it. I don't accept it. Now is the time to say no to 287G agreement, because education belongs in classrooms, not behind bars, and students deserve safety, not surveillance. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
Money for housing and education, not for jails and deportation. Money for housing and education, not for jails and deportation. Money for housing and
education.
not for jails and deportation.
Money for housing and education.
Not for jails and deportation. Last speaker who's going to round us up what's happening around the state from the immigrant community, and then we're going to go to our partners, because we can't do this by ourselves, right? Yes! Jessica, sorry. Stephanie Wall from Florida Immigrant Coalition. Hey, Stephanie, come forward. Hey! I have a weak voice, so have some patience with me. Okay, great. I'm Stephanie Wall. I am here as a Flint community member, a naturalized American citizen, and as a mother, because our values are not only being questioned, but they're being openly attacked. It's no secret that immigrants are well woven into our society. They grow our food, build our homes, take care of our children. I have 2 little ones myself. They bring me a lot of light in these dark times. My newborn is 5 weeks old, and he is beautiful. He fills my cup every time I hear his breath on my shoulder, and every time I feel his cheek to mine. My older son is 3, and he's a darling. I know every mom says that, but he is a darling. And he goes to our local daycare, where he is well taken care of, and I am sure that he is loved by all of his teachers, every single one of whom are immigrants, and he loves them too. Our village is incomplete without them. Immigrant justice is also worker justice, it's also racial justice, and it's also a fight for our humanity. Our immigrant families and workers are being denied due process and labor protections. Our children are being denied safety and proper medical care. Some believe that we will turn our backs on them, but we are rallying as a state, across the board, in one struggle, one fight, to say that we won't turn away, that we won't be silenced, because immigrants are welcome here.
Yeah!
One struggle, one fight. One struggle,
One fight. One struggle, one fight.
one struggle, one fight. I want to introduce Maria Reyes, who's an allied partner of us in the Immigrants Are Welcome Coalition with Boricua Vota and La Mesa Boricua. Before she comes up, I want to give a shout out to our immigrant hero, Victor Torres, Senator Victor Torres. 8 years he's been with us and fighting, and I want to give a shout out to former Representative Tom Keene, who's also with us. They're both going to be coming up to speak in just a few minutes. We're passing it out to our allies because we can't do it by ourselves. We need to come together. One struggle, one fight. One struggle, one fight. One struggle,
One fight.
one struggle, one fight. One struggle, one fight.
Buenas tardes, familia migrante. Good afternoon, our immigrant family.
Buenas tardes.
My
My name is Maria Rebelles, and I'm here in name of La Mesa Boricua and our sister organization, Boricua Vota. Puerto Ricans, we are in Orange County, probably the place outside of the island that has more Puerto Ricans. 2 million Puerto Ricans are in the state of Florida. 2 million Puerto Ricans. And if someone has to be an ally to my immigrants, brother and sister, somos nosotros, la gente puertorriqueña. Somos la gente puertorriqueña que compartimos el idioma, que compartimos la cultura, que sabemos lo que es silenciado y lo que es ser explotado. If someone understands what is our duty in this moment in history, it's us, the Puerto Rican people, that share the language, that share the culture, that share the experience of being oppressed. Today, La Mesa Boricua stands here as a proud ally, as part of the Immigrants Are Welcome Here coalition, because we share one struggle. Nosotros compartimos una lucha. Yon Selvatay. I want to read with you, and I hope that those that can share with us repeat after me the principles of this coalition, because we are here together. Immigrants are welcome here, values and principle. Immigrants are welcome here. It's a community committed to a life of love, health, education, opportunities, equity, justice, and liberty. So that all people, para que todas las personas in this country can thrive, regardless immigration status, gender, or sexual orientation. We are grounded by the leadership of the most vulnerable. Los líderes son aquellos que son hoy más vulnerables. Immigrants among us, empowered by our diversity and actions of solidarity and compassion, driven by our shared vision of human dignity, respect, and social justice. We recognize the value and we are indebted to the human impact immigrants have in our society as our friends, our neighbors, our co-workers, and fellow congregants. We are the safe spaces, ensuring Florida immigrants are welcome here. I invite you, all of you, to join our coalition. Join us. Those of you that have your phone out there, scan our QR code and join our coalition. Somos una sola familia, somos una sola voz y te necesitamos con nosotros dando la lucha. Boricua, levántate. Este es el momento de hacer sentir nuestros derechos. Este es el momento de usar la ciudadanía, de ser la voz por aquellos que hoy quizá tienen el miedo de levantar la suya. Porque unidos somos más fuertes. Sí se puede.
¡Sí se puede!
El pueblo unido
Jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
El pueblo
Unido jamás será vencido.
El pueblo
Unido jamás será vencido.
¡Sí se puede!
Sí se puede.
Good afternoon, Orlando.
Good afternoon.
My name is Corey Hill, and I'm one of the organizers for Orlando 5051 and a proud member of the Immigrants Are Welcome Here coalition. I am here today because I know in every fiber of my being that solidarity is a verb. That means we can't just walk the walk, we have to talk the talk. And I stand here before you in this time of gathering darkness with hope in my heart, because I see before me a light, a brilliant light. We are here today, united in our demand to shut down the worker deportation and detention machine right over there. In recent days, this monstrous building before us has seen a tenfold increase in the number of people being processed through this facility into ICE custody. A grotesque model of the mass disappearance apparatus in action. An abomination made possible by cooperation agreements between local law enforcement and ICE. Orange County must end its IGA agreement with ICE and put that money instead into building stronger communities. Across the world, but not in the United States, May 1st is a day in celebration of the worker, a date chosen in recognition of the sacrifices made to guarantee basic protections that benefit all of us. We come together today in recognition of the vital role immigrant labor plays in strengthening this and every country, and to send a clear, unified message that these attacks on our immigrant communities, our friends and neighbors, our family members, our loved ones, will not stand. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate,
No fear.
Immigrants are welcome here. No hate,
No fear.
Immigrants are welcome here.
No fear. Immigrants are welcome here.
The people running this fascist hate machine we're up against, they want us divided and degraded. They want us to embrace their twisted ideas that some people are less than deserving, less than worthy, less than fully human. We stand here today to reject those lies. An attack on one is an attack on all. And we're never going to let anyone come for any of us without a fight.
That's right.
One fight.
One struggle,
One fight. One struggle, one fight.
One fight! Today, before us, you see what is possible when we embrace our collective humanity and build our power on the unshakable bonds of solidarity between us. It is truly one struggle, one fight. The struggle against ICE's brutality is part of the same struggle to protect our student protesters who have faced visa revocation and the full force of state violence for the crime of speaking out for a free Palestine. We recognize the connection between our struggle for healthcare and housing to protect trans rights, against racism and misogyny. We will fight together for our shared vision of a world built on kindness, empathy, and dignity. One struggle, one fight.
One struggle, one fight. One struggle, one fight.
The people who built and maintain this worker deportation machine want you to think they are strong. They want you to think that nothing we do matters. They want you to give up, game over, go home. We're here today because we know what they are so desperate to hide, that they are weak and they are afraid. They are afraid of this, of us, a thriving, multiracial, multi-generational movement, drawing a line in the sand when they come for our immigrant brothers and sisters. Today we say, when the fascists come to town, no pasaran! They are afraid because they know there's nothing on earth more powerful than we the people, united. One struggle, one fight. Together, we will win. Show them what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show them what democracy looks like.
This is how democracy looks like.
Thank you.
One struggle.
One fight.
One struggle.
One fight.
Representative Tom King.
Hey, good afternoon, folks. I'm Tom Keene. I represented House District 35, Orange County and Osceola County in the Florida House last year. I'm a proud Navy veteran, and I'm here today because I want to talk about immigrant rights and specifically a bill that we passed last year that I voted against and I think is very important that we bring it up again today on this very hot day. And that was House Bill 433. That prohibits local governments from being able to regulate workers out in the field and give them protection from the heat. It was by far one of the worst anti-worker bills that I saw in the House. It hurts our workers and our ability to protect communities from the elements, banning things like local heat protection for those that work outside in the sun all day. And it's not just a labor issue. It's another gross attack on people who look like wealthy white Republicans in Tallahassee. It's yet another attempt to camouflage bigotry and hate for people in different communities. When we look at it nationally, it's clear that none of the outrage we heard about law and order, it was all about legal immigration. It was not about legal immigration. It was all about being cruel to others. A hatred playbook has been fake outrage, opening a window for discrimination by focusing on the issues that disproportionately affect our diverse community. Well, I have a message for Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump and anyone else who thinks it's okay to attack our workers on migrants. Our diverse community is our strength, and we will not sit idly by while our neighbors are treated as less and put in danger. I spent 20 years on active duty serving our nation in the Navy, and I can tell you that what I fought for was freedom. Freedom for all, freedom for prosperity, and freedom to be safe. I did not fight for what we're seeing now. I believed, and I still believe, in the promise of our country, that no matter who you are, where you come from, who you love, who you pray to, that you are valued, and that every opportunity to build a life here without fear. So today, I hope that we start taking that promise more seriously. I know I will, and I will never stop fighting. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Go Tom!
One struggle!
One fight.
One struggle!
One fight.
I'm going to bring my brother up, Stephen McGuire from Latino Justice, Puerto Rican Legal and Immigration.
Thank you. I actually wrote something down because I didn't want to, miss words. So I want to make sure the message was said. So my name is Stephen McGuire. First of all, thank you all for coming out. Thank you. Good evening, family. Buenas tardes. My name is Stephen Mangual. I'm the Justice Advocate Coordinator with Latino Justice Pearl Dev, and I'm a solitary confinement survivor, formerly incarcerated activist. I was sentenced to 8 to 24 years, up to serving 14 years, 17 months in the horrible Rikers Island jail, and another 12 over 12 years in 10 different New York State prisons. I lived through what too many people are suffering today. Lockdowns for months, and solitary for years. I know what it means to be dehumanized by a system that profits off of our punishment instead of healing.
Yes, sir.
And I stand here now, not just as a survivor, but as a voice for those who are still currently incarcerated, those incarcerated workers like those in here. May Day was born of struggle. It began in 1886 with immigrant workers in Chicago demanding an 8-hour workday. Police fired on them and hung them for daring to demand their rights and stand for dignity. That same cruelty continues today, except now it's wrapped in ICE detention, racist policing, and racialized mass incarceration. As Boricuas, May Day holds a deep historic meaning for us. We've always stood on the side of workers and farmers and poor communities, fighting back against exploitation. Our resistance has always been tied to dignity, economic dignity, cultural dignity, and the fight for justice in all forms. May Day has always been a day where we lift our voices against imperialism, exploitation, and incarceration, where we say enough is enough. Let me be clear, incarceration is not just about crime, it's about control. Let me say that again. Incarceration is not just about crime, it is about control. It's about a system designed to disappear Black, Latinx, and immigrant communities. I've worked alongside men in prison and witnessed them deported, disappeared to countries they never lived in, torn from the families with no warning. That's not justice. That's state-sanctioned trauma. We must end this arrest and deportation pipeline where people, often innocent and overcharged, end up torn away from their families and on their way to Supermax prisons, exiled from their homes where they've never known. We must end this unjust arrest and deportation system that keeps it in place, because nobody should be criminalized for being poor or being an immigrant just for surviving. And to the law enforcement officers, to the listeners, and the COs, the jail staff and the ICE agents who are listening and watching, lean on your values, lean on your conscience. Shame on you.
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
How do you sleep at night knowing the trauma you cause to these families? Our communities and the state, shame on you.
Shame on you.
We're better than this. We are better than this. We deserve better than this. Let's carry this legacy of May Day forward, not just as a labor struggle, but as a liberation struggle. Let's keep fighting for freedom, for a future where justice, not justice means human dignity, but no humans in a cage. Thank you.
All right, I've been standing here listening to everybody. And I got to tell you, I got to remind you why we're here. I'm Bishop David Maldonado of Christ International Church, co-founder of Hablamos Español Florida, and I'm a proud member of Immigrants Are Welcome Here Coalition. Let me remind you why we're here today. We're here to send a clear message to our elected officials in Orange County to tell them to end the agreement with ICE. No more IGA with ICE. No more IGA with ICE. No more IGA with ICE. That's what we want. I'm here to remind us that there's something going on here that is wicked. I need you to remember something. Jim Crow was legal, but it was immoral and evil.
Yes, sir.
Apartheid was legal, but it was immoral and evil.
Yes, sir.
Just because something is made into a law does not make it right. And what is happening here in Orange County is not right. It is immoral. It is indefensible to take hard-working, good people that help our community and criminalize them and throw them behind these bars. It's not right. And the relationship with ICE is what we're asking Orange County to do. These are people who enrich our community. These are people who deserve respect. We are taxpayers in Orange County, and our money should be going towards education, affordable housing, more teachers, and not immigrants in jail cells. Yes. That's not what we want to see. Go on stolen land. So instead of funding deportation, we need to put the dollars back into education. Instead of funding deportation, we need to put the money back in transportation. Instead of funding deportation, we need to put it back in our children and education.
That's right.
I want to remind everyone of something. I'm a preacher, so I got to tell you what the Bible actually says. When God's people were first becoming a nation in Deuteronomy 15, God warned them and told them, don't you ever close your hand on the stranger and the immigrant. He specifically told them, keep your hand open wide to them. Wide open to help. Wide open to support. But Orange County has decided to align itself with ICE, and instead of having a hand wide open, it has closed its fist and threatened every immigrant in our community. What we want today is for Orange County to end IGA with ICE.
And IGA with ICE. And IGA. And IGA. And IGA.
I'm happy to see all of you here today. We're coming to an end right now. But I want you to do something. Scan the code. Be a part of this coalition. Let's keep acting and moving with love, with compassion, and with mercy. Let's remember that there are people in here who have a voice, but they can't use a voice because of immoral leaders who are making laws just to control people. We want to see freedom. We want to see fairness. We want to see justice, and we want to see the deportations end. Shout with me. End IGA with ICE.
And IGA with ICE. And IGA with ICE. And IGA with ICE.
Instead of using our tax dollars to fund this kind of immorality, we rather our elected officials to use our tax dollars and invest it in the right way in our community. Thank you, and God bless you. And IGA with ICE.
And IGA with ICE. And IGA with ICE. And IGA with ICE.
Orange County has the power to stop being part of the deportation machine.
Yes.
IGA with ICE!
And IGA with ICE!
And IGA with ICE!
And IGA with ICE!
We're now going to start our picket line. Please, the flags are going to go first, and Felipe's going to lead us in the chant. We're going to go to the corner and circle back around.
¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede!
What struggle? What struggle? What struggle?
One fight! One fight!
Money for homes and education!
Not for jails and deportation! Not for jails and deportation!
This should feel pretty familiar.